Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 159. Tonight, Tears of the Kingdom has launched, and we've played it. We've played a lot of it. We're going to be talking about that and the news from this week. We're talking all of that and more. Well, greetings, fellow Nintendo pals. My name is Andross, and I am one of the hosts of the Nintendo Pals Podcast, the show all about Nintendo and friendship. And speaking of friendship, I am joined by my pal, Micah.
Yep.
Micah, I gotta ask, how the heck are ya?
Doing pretty good.
That's great to hear. I have a random question for you. On any given day, what do you think you spend the most time doing?
Sleeping.
I was going to say besides sleeping, because I feel like that's a bit of a cop-out answer. Besides
Well,
sleeping.
Too late. You didn't say it fast enough.
What do you think? I'd probably spend the most time working, I guess.
That's also a cop out.
Yeah, it is kind of a cop-out. Okay, so besides work and sleep, what do I do the most? Probably play video games, I guess. Or playing with the
Pretty
kiddos.
accurate.
It's one of those two things is what I do with the extra time I have. Actually, I mean, over the past 2-3 months, it's been a lot of video editing and working on stuff for my YouTube channel. That's what takes up most of my day and my time. What do you got?
I don't know. I feel like it changes, but it's probably video games.
Well, hey, no shame. We do host a podcast about video games. So probably good. We have some expertise, obviously. It's what we spend the most time doing. Speaking of spending the most time doing, you know what people out there could be spending most of their time doing? They could be helping us try to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts through 5-star reviews. You could leave us a 5-star review. That's what you could spend most of your time doing. Leave us a 5-star review. But you know what? You don't have to spend most of your time. It just takes a second to scroll on down to whatever listening app you choose and leave those 5 stars. Like the two brand new anonymous reviews on Spotify, bringing the grand total of Spotify 5-star reviews to 67. That's right, Spotify users. You've done it. You have passed Apple users. Take that, Apple. You guys suck. Insulting literally like 50% of our listeners right there. But you know what, 50% of our listeners? Y'all haven't pulled your weight. Spotify, a measly 20% of our listening audience, has surpassed you in 5-star reviews. Shameful. Shameful. So yeah, go leave us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify and all the places. We really do appreciate it. And I do so enjoy pitting people against each other when both sides work for our game. We're like manipulative government working like wars behind the scenes. But it's all in good fun for podcasting.
Yeah, because people love those.
No, people don't love those kinds of guys, but it's okay in this context because this is not violent and evil. It's good. It's good. 5-star reviews are good. Okay, leave us a 5-star review. Let's move on. Let's get out of this. Let's get out of here and move on to the next segment. Let's talk what you playing, or let's talk Tears of the Kingdom. What have you been playing, Micah?
Let me bust on my Switch and see if I've played literally anything other than. No, wait, I technically Tears of the Kingdom wasn't out yet, so I did play a little bit of Risk of Rain at
Oh
the
yeah,
start of
that's
last
right.
week.
And you discovered a new character
Yeah. Well,
thing.
I mostly actually found out about it while looking up other things, but yeah, the Heretic. You can it's like kind of a survivor you unlock by collecting 4 certain items in a run,
Yeah.
but it doesn't permanently unlock them, which is kind of unfortunate.
Uh, I do want to try that, but I think I will be occupied for a while with a single game. A single game will be taking a long time. But I did play another game between last time and this time, besides Tears of the Kingdom, and that is
Breath of the Wild.
Dadish 3. I beat Dadish 3. Nice little quick
Ooh,
quick
nice.
game.
I thought you'd already beaten that, to be honest,
I
for some
beat
reason.
I beat the original Dadish, and
Yeah, you
then
beat 1 and then you skipped 2 to play 3, right?
yeah, well, because 2 wasn't on
2
sale
2
and
wasn't
3
on sale.
3
Yeah.
was, yeah. Man, 3 has a pretty fantastic twist. Micah, will you ever play this game? Can I spoil it for you?
Technically, he can spoil it for me, but I'll probably just never forgive you.
Okay, well, I mean, this is a game where you play as a dad, Radish, and you go from start to finish, and the end is where your kiddo Radish is. Kiddish, maybe. Um, and that's the premise of the game. Like there's like it's very light on story. In the first game, Lord Durnak, who's like an evil junk food item. I can't remember what he is exactly. Was the one that tricked your kids and it was trying to lure them all so that you could eat them or something. And you save them. You save them. You stop Lord Durnak.
But if he was junk food and you are what you eat, wouldn't he become healthy food if
True.
he ate radishes?
The villains in these games are all junk food. So all like the Goombas are little hamburgers. There's like
I
cola enemies.
Hamburgers aren't really junk food, depending on what you have on it.
We'll just say these ones are specifically McDonald's hamburgers.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, absolutely.
um. Anyways, so all that. So that was Lord Durnak. Well, the villain of number 3 is Lord Canrud, which Dadish points out is just Durnak backwards.
What a twist!
It's not the
Was that the
twist.
twist?
That's not the twist.
Oh,
So
it gets even crazier.
there's side characters in this game. Okay, we're gonna go into the lore of Dadish right now, y'all. Let's sidetrack before we talk
Yeah,
Tears
move
of the Kingdom.
aside Tears of the Kingdom, the real game of the year.
Okay, so Dadish is married, and you meet his wife in this game, Momado, who is a very big tomato, and she works all the time. She doesn't listen to anything you say. She's constantly on business calls and talking about meetings and stuff. But mechanically in the game, she'll join on levels, and you can jump onto Momado, and she jumps super high, and she just is constantly bouncing. So you're playing. It's essentially just like a change up of how you play a level.
Yeah.
But she's not the only character that does that. There's also a character, the Dolphin. His name is the Dolphin, and he corrects you when you say just the Dolphin. He's like, it's the Dolphin. And in those levels, he is swimming along like a toxic ocean or water or something, and you have to clear obstacles and meet him on the other side and try and like get around him. Not get around, but like get around the obstacles and before he leaves to the next zone,
Yeah.
or you'll fall into the water zone and die. So the twist: Lord Canrud was actually the dolphin the whole time.
That's wild.
You
So
meet
you're
him
telling
on
me at any point he could just abandon you in the middle and you would have died?
yeah, he helps you in every world of the game. There's a one dolphin level and one Mamedo level. And so you get to the end and he's like, "Hey, the dolphin, the dolphin." He's like, "Oh, you finally got my name right." And he's like, "Yeah, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Isn't it obvious? I was Lord
I feel like
Canrod the
that's
whole time."
something the developers like. One of them made a joke about that, and they're like, "Haha, that's so dumb." But wait a
That's
second.
this whole game, man. The dialogue is so funny. The kids are always making these just like weird comments about and sometimes it breaks the fourth wall and they're just like, how do we get out of here? Oh, we just fly up after the level ends. What's a level? And then the level ends. They just fly up with like a flying animation. So good. Such a good game. I like it. Nice little game. It's on sale often on the eShop. Everybody should check it out. All right, Micah. Let's get into some meat here. Some tears. Some tears of the kingdom. We've been playing Tears of the Kingdom. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? How you liking it?
I think it's real good.
I kid you not. This is my favorite game ever made. Best game of all time. I and
Even better than Dadish 3?
yeah, even better than Dadish 3. Holy cow, this game is so good. This is I came into this expecting Breath of the Wild with some added elements, maybe some minor changes to the map. We're gonna keep this episode spoiler free, by the way. So we're just gonna kind of talk about our high level thoughts on it. I came in expecting it to kind of be more like a pretty healthy DLC to Breath of the Wild, because that's what it originally started as, according to the development.
Yeah.
So I was kind of picturing that, but with maybe some new dungeons. Obviously, we knew from the trailers going in that we were going to have Ganondorf, but no, this game's actually massive. There's been like a complete overhaul to the map, which is no exaggeration, at least twice as big. At least twice as big, close to 3 times the size of Breath of the Wild. And then the original Breath of the Wild map has changed very drastically in a lot of areas. It feels full. I remember there were a lot of people when Breath of the Wild first came out, there were a lot of complaints that the world felt kind of empty and there wasn't a lot to do in certain areas. I don't feel that way at all in this game, ever. It feels like there's something to do every like 10 feet you go. And Micah and I are both suffering from what I will call squirrel syndrome, where it's like, we're like, okay, gonna head to this thing, and then, what's that over there? What's a squirrel? And then we're like chasing. I've gone on so many like side tangent exploration things, and then go, oh, no, I need to get back into to the
I
path.
have to put things in like the queue. I see something that I want to go check out, and on the way there, I see something else. I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's more of a stack, technically. But then
But yeah,
but
cute,
I'm like,
meaning
oh wait,
it gets
but I
in
see
line.
this thing. I got to put this on top, and then I got to do that first, and then I'll get back to going over to do that other thing. And then
Yeah,
as I get closer to that second thing I had just seen, there's something else that I see that's even closer,
yeah.
and it's just like never ending. And I rarely get to the original thing I wanted to do.
Yep, that's how I feel
'Cause
exactly.
I literally ended up. I was kind of going towards the Rito village and like the upper left of the map. I actually got there at some point, and then I kept getting distracted by things, and I ended up at the very bottom right, far corner of the map somehow. I
That's
got
the opposite
distracted.
end of the world.
I got distracted and ran across the entire world.
Yeah. Um, and I mean, it helps that there's like so many ways to travel in this game. The building mechanic and the sheer amount of options you have for things you can build uh, just makes travel pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah, because I got distracted and then I saw a tower, like launched myself up, saw some sky island, flew over to that, and then flew more, and then realized I was across the entire map
Yeah.
after like 3 hours. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I am loving this game. I think it's fantastic. And I rolled credits on it this weekend. For those that didn't catch, I did a 3-day long stream of the game, spending roughly 100 in-game days in the game. I rolled credits, and I okay. We have our times actually, Mike. So we're recording this episode Monday, the 15th. The game came out Friday, the 12th, but really like the 11th in the evening. Micah, you have 25 hours,
Yep.
averaging about 5 a day since
Well, if you count part of Thursday, it's only like 4 a day.
no, that is counting Thursday.
Is that counting Thursday?
25 and 5 days, including today.
Oh yeah, because I have 25. I was thinking of 20.
And I have 45 hours in the game. But I just streamed it for 3 days straight, so that makes sense from my end there. But 45 hours of gameplay. I am 29% completion on my file. 29%, which means the vast majority of completion, like the things that actually check the percentage completion, I haven't even touched. I haven't even seen. So there is so much to do, so much to see. Micah was seeing enemies that I didn't even see until my last day of the 3-day stream. I was discovering brand new enemies, brand new places, brand new things for 45 hours straight, and I still have so much more. So much more. I have probably only unlocked half the map of the entirety of the game. It's wild. It's huge. It's gargantuan. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Mechanically, they add a bunch of new stuff as well. I think the fusing of weapons, a lot of the abilities that they've shown off in pre-game trailers and gameplay previews, they are so cool, and there's so much potential and possibilities with them. And it was like I felt like over the 45 hours, I slowly got better and better at using those things. That by the end, I could make a vehicle pretty quickly and easily where I couldn't before, and that was for more than one reason. But um,
Oh, I see.
because
Yeah,
I was missing
yeah.
a thing, an important thing that I didn't
Important
know
thing
about.
that was almost the first thing I got in that game.
Oh man, and this is just how the game is, and I think this is how it's going to be for a lot of people. Everybody's going to experience this game in wildly different ways. The chatter right now that's happening over on Discord as people are talking about, like, oh, look at, like, I found this thing. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Micah and I like spent like an hour last night just talking to each other about the game and about different things we were discovering, and there's a lot. There's a lot there.
Yeah, there's a ton in this game.
Overall, I give this game a 20 out of 10. This is by far. I mean, Breath of the Wild was my favorite game of all time. This took Breath of the Wild and cranked it up to an 11. Like Breath of the Wild's a 10, this is an 11. Like they just took everything, and they essentially took any complaints that I could have had towards Breath of the Wild and fixed those. I can't think of anything that they didn't deliver on. So here's my complaints for Breath of the Wild. I felt like its story wasn't as good as some other Zelda games. Like it didn't feel as involved or in depth. Tears of the Kingdom blows that out of the water. Tears of the Kingdom has an amazing story. I felt like there was a lack of uniqueness to dungeons. Tears of the Kingdom, through a variety of means, blows that out of the water. Enemies, not a lack of enemy variety. Tears of the Kingdom knocks out of the park. I mean, like I was just saying, how many different enemies do you think you've encountered in this game? I've encountered so many different types. Not just like, in the first game it was like you have bokoblins, moblins, Hinox Talus, Lionels, and Lizalfos. And I think that's about it. Keys. They've at least doubled that.
Octoroks.
Yeah, they've at least doubled that.
Yeah, I mean, I could think of just like 8 off the top of my head
that are new to this game. Yeah, plus brand new unique bosses.
Like,
that's another complaint.
Like,
Breath of the Wild's bosses didn't feel very unique. They were all Ganon blights, right? A lot of people had complaints about that. Well, if you were complaining about that, buckle up, buddy, because Tears of the Kingdom has some of the coolest bosses of all Zelda. And some returning classics. Dang, yeah, there's just so many. There's just so much stuff. They literally took everything that I could complain about and we're like, we fix that.
Yep.
I cannot think of anything. Oh, I have one complaint for this game. One complaint for Tears of the Kingdom that would have made it just a bit better to me. Not enough Ganondorf. But that's like every Zelda game. Ganondorf's not there like the entire game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf is like a background character till the end in every game. So it feels on brand with that. And I guess Tears of the Kingdom is still more involved. What I'm trying to say here is that
so good you want more.
Yes, that is 100% it. Ganondorf's character in this game and his like presence, his story, his voice acting is so good that I just wanted more than they gave. That's that. And I think that they nailed it with him as a villain character in this. Like 100%. Oh my gosh. The cutscenes for this game are incredible. You just unlocked one that we were both talking about before that you were like,
yeah.
Oh,
I jumped from memory 4 to 10 and it is wild.
Wasn't his face horrifying in that? It was terrifying. They really made him very scary. Oh man. Y'all are gonna love this game. If you haven't gotten to these points yet, you're gonna love it. That's all I'll say. And I think we should maybe get out of here before we get any more spoilery.
Well, I guess I just got one thing.
All right.
To say. Once you get off like the tutorial area, you should do the first story point before exploring.
Yes. We're going to talk about this in this week's Pal Topic episode. We're going to talk about things we wish we had known when we started. That hopefully can give like a good beginner guide. Like, and maybe people are far in the game and haven't done these things yet. That will be really helpful. Like me, you could be 30 hours in and realize you're missing a key ingredient to the gameplay experience. So, yeah, we'll talk about that in the Pal Topic. But, Micah, what do you say? Let's jump over to the Nintendo news. All right. The Mario movie has become the fourth highest grossing animated film ever. $1.21 billion in global sales. That's pretty cray-cray.
It's all right, I guess.
I'm not surprised that it's gone to this point. Is it going to pass
the most?
Is it going to be the most?
It's still quite a bit. Still 450,000 behind The Lion King.
450 million, right?
No, just 1,000.
Oh, really?
No, yeah, million.
Oh,
No,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, well then, heck yeah, it is.
It'll pass in like 2 more days.
How long do movies stay in theaters? Everybody's still like all these news articles I read about this are still like talking about how like, oh yeah, this is. I mean, it's only down this much of a percentage. This movie has staying power. And I'm like, what is this? What does this mean? I don't know if this
Well, I
means that it will.
think that it comes out digital like really soon, doesn't it?
Yeah, but does it
Like much
still
sooner than expected.
go in theaters? Is it still playing in theaters? In addition to that? Who
Who
knows?
knows?
Who
I'm
knows?
not a movie person.
Um. So yeah, that's that news item. Mike, you want to take this next one?
Yup. Hogwarts Legacy will be launching on Nintendo Switch 11/14 of 23.
So this is delayed because
Yeah,
it was
like
originally supposed to come in July.
pretty delayed, like 5 months delayed. Well,
Yeah.
4 months. Like brain farting. That is yes, November. I had to double check, make sure I didn't sound like an idiot.
So here's the quote.
November 14th.
The quote from their post is, "We know fans are looking forward to playing on Switch. Therefore, creating the best possible experience is our top priority. Thank you for your patience." I think that there's still this like industry misconception that the Switch won't do well for a game's sales. But as we're about to learn in this next news item that I moved up here, uh, it's just not true. But it seems like they're not abandoning it. They're not pulling Midnight Suns, you know?
Yeah.
And also, it sold well, so they have the money that they're getting from that to pour into continued development to make a really good port, hopefully. So this is a little glimpse into the sales for Tears of the Kingdom. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has doubled Hogwarts Legacy's box sales in the UK at release. Doubled.
Get wrecked.
Yeah. I mean, they're very different games, different IPs, but they also are both open world games. Hogwarts Legacy is a multi-platform title. Zelda is exclusive to Switch. This is impressive. This is an impressive feat. Zelda does numbers, though, so maybe it's not that crazy. But this is, I think this game is going to sell like bonkers. I mean, maybe we just jump down here. Let's talk about Tears of the Kingdom reviews. It's scoring 10 out of 10 everywhere. Everything. IGN gives it a 10 out of 10. VGC, GameSpot, Comic Book, Nintendo Life, Screen Rant. The only one on this list that doesn't give it a 10 out of 10 is Game Informer, which gives it a 9.75. So, how's this game scoring on like Open Critic?
It's still at a 97%, I think, but it hasn't included a score of 60 that Metacritic has by like Galaxy something.
Yeah, probably because they're
Just
they're
don't count it. It's an outlier. It doesn't count.
probably because their website has some sense, you know, where Metacritic does not. 97. And in addition to that 97, 100% of critics recommend the game. Literally everybody is like, even if they're not scoring it a perfect score, they're like, this is a must-play game. So this game is gonna sell like crazy. I'm very excited to see the sales numbers for this one when they eventually come. But that's it for Zelda news.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, we have one more Zelda news. Sorry, I jumped around.
I can't believe you lied to me like this.
I apologize.
But there's a new Ask the Developers about Tears of the Kingdom, and it does contain spoilers though. So, I mean, if you don't mind being spoiled, it's probably really cool to check out. I will be checking it out in a couple months or something.
Yeah, I can check it out now. I think I'm past the point where of spoilers. Although I am still discovering a lot of new stuff. In addition to that, you can now redeem your My Nintendo Platinum points to collect custom Tears of the Kingdom icons. And those are available till the 25th of this month. And new icon elements will be, or the icon elements will be refreshed each week. So I got to go in and get all of those.
Or else you're not a true Zelda fan.
Truly. Got to be a true Zelda fan. Get all of those things. Plus, got to put that sweet new Ganondorf up there. Buff Ganon.
Is he shirtless? Or half shirtless?
It's a headshot, but yes, half shirtless
disappointing.
headshot.
And his shirt on half of his head?
Yeah, just on half of his face. That's it for news. That's it for news we got to talk about this week. There was also, I believe you could get a new Tears of the Kingdom keychain. Where was that at? Where did I see that? Had to be posted by...
I do recall seeing something about that.
Good old Monkey Thunder.
Although I think it also sold out like right away or something, unless I'm crazy. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
No, it's
But
still... I still have the
Tears
option.
of the Kingdom glow in the dark.
Yeah.
That
550.
Cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I think
probably
they included a picture of the back of it where it just says Nintendo really small.
But it's in glow in the dark.
Yeah, big glows.
So, yeah. Well, that's it for the news for this week. Let's jump into the rumor mill. All right. Today's rumor mill is brought to us by...
Might be the best rumor mill we've ever had.
It's brought to us by Ayla, listening over on Spotify. Thank you for cluing us into this. The rumor is that Taylor Swift helped work on the music for Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know where this rumor comes from, but I think that it is hilarious. Taylor Swift's really big right now. She's in like all these I've been seeing like a lot of... Is she like doing a new tour or something? I don't follow music. I don't follow music
like
at all.
Having a comeback or something.
I mean,
not that she was ever really gone. But...
Yeah. That's all I really have to talk about it. I don't quite see how that makes any sense at all, but it's funny that it was
probably
reported.
True.
It's probably true. Another rumor that we have to briefly talk about here is that Nintendo is expecting a slow... It expects Switch sales to slow as we get further into the year, which is interesting and sort of lends credence, if that's the right phrasing of that word, to the rumors that there isn't another like big ticket release coming, and that they're kind of saving up to launch the next system. So here's the quote by Furukawa, who is acknowledging that there are uncertainties ahead. In the history of our game console business, we have never seen 10 million units of hardware still being sold at this stage. We are in unknown territory. He also commented on the sales target for this year. Given that recent year-on-year sales have been declining by more than 20%, the target of 15 million units... by more than 20%, the target of 15 million units is a bit of a stretch. So they originally increased the goal, I don't know if you remember that, and then they're now saying, hey, that might have been too much of an increase. To offset the Switch's decline and get back on the growth track, many are calling on the company to introduce a new console. One is rumored to be due out next year.
Yeah, there's been one rumored to be out next year for the past like 3 years, though. So
you're right. You're 100% right. I don't think a new console I don't quite understand why we need a new console to offset the Switch's decline in growth, because they could also just make their money in games.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that like their game sales are still doing really good.
Yeah, and they've never discounted the system, so now they can, like, right? Like it's not like it's gotten more expensive to produce the Switch. Maybe it has, because of how terrible the economy has been worldwide. But yeah, I don't necessarily think that declining sales necessarily means that we need a new system right now. But maybe like a hardware revision, maybe another upgrade to the existing Switch.
Switch Pro, perhaps?
The Switch Pro? Yeah. That's what we got for the rumor mill today. I don't really have anything else to talk about with that. You got anything you want to add?
Nope.
Well then, Micah, why don't you tell people where they can find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at Micah Prime.
And you can find myself at Andross1 on all those same platforms. I'm on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and streaming lots of Tears of the Kingdom content on the way. I am going to be editing and in my little cave of editing for a long time. But it's going to be fun. Such good stuff. So excited. And you can follow the show, Nintendo Pals, on all podcast listening apps and all social media channels. We are the Nintendo Pals. You can find us. Just search our name. You'll find us. And with that, we'll close out here with our Patreon shout-out. You want to be in the Patreon shout-out, the Patreon Poke Rap. To do that, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/NintendoPals, where for as little as $3, you can be a part of the exclusive content that we show with behind the scenes, as well as our bonus Nintendo Pals Plus podcast and a shout out in the Patreon Poke Rap, which we close every episode with, and we will close with now.
We gotta rap some Patreon.
You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever was. And shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzle, Retrologic Day, U-Dog Gamer, Schlim, Tor, Spanish, and Solo Something, Brian, and Little Miss 7, and Cosmic.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
K-Man Katina, Third Strongest One, Tim the Nintendo Daddle, and Seth Sturgill, Monkey Thunder, Purple Viola, Dat Fast John, and Bubba Plays too.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon. Let's get 150 or more, yeah, please. To be a Patreon donor is your destiny.
Thank you all so much for listening, and we will talk to you next episode. Bye-bye.